Hello, was I live? Or we are live? I'm sorry, I forgot. But we just had this whole conversation in Dutch, and now we have to switch to English. We're going to be playing DireRolls at our usual time slot of 2, but we pretend it's 2 because it's 2:30. And I will tell you. I will tell you what happened last time. So, last time our party takes a moment to recover from the fight with the class member that they had fought just mere moments before. And then they make plans. They eventually decide that they go to the test fields first, before heading to Westrun and eventually to Torumgorn, of which Brion and Lux originate from. The party has a pretty quiet and an eventful travel through the dawn mist pines as they finally reach the Alabaster Trail. They decide to make camp for the night somewhere in a nice secluded clearing in the forest just off the beaten path. During the night's watches, they hear howling in the night, and close to the morning, they eventually get attacked by a pack of hungry wolves. They make swift action against them, but before they're even able to chase them off, the wolves tuck tails and run from the sound of an inhuman, monstrous howl that breaks through the thicket of the forest close to them. Within seconds, the entire party is not facing a pack of wolves anymore, but a large, raging werewolf who is towering over Eldwin. With Eldwin's knowledge, they used clever tactics to defeat the monster that seems to be immune to their metal swords, but vulnerable to the magic from Xenamin's fingertips, Lux's faith, and Brion's bear hug. The party eventually wraps the creature in thick magical webbing and sets it on fire with a burning log from the camp. As Eldwin deals the killing blow, the werewolf lets out a last breath and turns to a human once more. After a thorough investigation on the body, the party finds out that the werewolf was Willard Baker, Wilhelmina's brother-in-law, who happened to carry a love letter within his pockets from an unknown woman alongside a bag of substance that Xanamin faintly recognizes as something illegal. They clean up their camp in solemn silence and then they head for the Turst Fields, carrying more bad news with them to tell the widowed Amelia that not only her sister, but also her cheating husband has met his untimely end. As they arrive in the Turst Fields, they notice a small crowd of people surrounding the notice board and watch Amelia Baker protecting a young Knoll boy behind her skirts with a large rolling pin. As the crowd breaks up, the party follows this woman, of which they assume to be Amelia, into her bakery and finally break the news to her. They tell her of the death of her husband, omitting the note in his pockets, his infection as a werewolf, and of the death of his sister by the hands of the Clasp, an organization that Amelia herself does not know of. They leave the woman alone to grieve over the news, or they leave her in the company of what seems to be her protector, a large adult Knoll man. And then they head over to the town square to check out the notice board, now facing another puzzling quest in this new town. And that is where we start the session again. Brion, it would be nice if your party members maybe fill you in to the details of your little adventure last time.
My little adventure.
Yeah, so maybe you could conversationally talk about what happened in the last night to Brion. Okay, go on. Ta-da. Talk.
Where to start?
I think you look pretty good in those guard clothes. Isn't you?
I looked good in what?
In the guard's clothes.
The guard's clothes.
The hirelings from the mansion.
Right. Okay.
You changed
Yeah.
into their attire to, well, maybe them on the wrong path if someone would show up. And I think it's pretty good on you.
Thank you, I guess. I don't really care much about my appearance. But thank you. Nonetheless.
Oh, guys. I forgot to give Amelia the keys. It's the damn keys again.
Well, before you run in, make sure she's not like a secret class member or something.
I will check. Be right back, and
just go
I'll
with
just
you.
swiftly again.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's at
try
this
to
point that
find me.
Aldwin and Lux, they head back to the bakery and go back inside, and you hear like a ting-a-ling-a-ling. Brion, you are standing outside with Xanamin, just enjoying the sunshine. You are currently in the Thirst fields, and what you see is a large square with a notice board on which you're standing in front of. You see all these notices in front of you as well, and the previous night you fought a werewolf, and you noticed during this fight with the werewolf that your pike was very inefficient against this creature. And Alduin, during this fight, shouted at you to stop using the pike because it didn't work. And instead of using the pike, you grappled the werewolf very, very efficiently. And thanks to your grapple, the entire party managed to get out of that fight unscathed. You did burn this body, and then you found out that the body was the late husband of Amelia, which you already heard from the little thing that we talked about.
Yep.
And yeah, so you're just standing in front of the notice board with Sanamin and maybe thinking that over. But I thought that was important information to tell you what your character did last time. Is there
quick
anything you would like to ask? Yeah.
Quick question: did we have a rest after?
No, not after. This is like after the rest you had. So this is early in the morning. So your character sheet in Roll20 is up to date.
Okay, right.
Yeah, you
That's
might have a short rest, I think. I think you had a short rest. That might have been the case. All right. So, Lux and Alduin, you get back into the bakery and you hear like ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling-ling. The little Knoll boy is behind the counter, and he's still like with the tip of his tongue just peeking out of his mouth with an intense focused look upon his face. He seems to be kneading some dough, and with like tiny little star-shaped cutters cutting out shapes out of the dough.
Should I just give it to him?
Well, yes, maybe. I don't know. Well, I mean, I wanted to be alone for a bit. Maybe give the keys to him. Yes, to give to him.
Hi. Looks like some amazing bread you're making. Could you please do something for me? I forgot to give Amelia the keys to Wilhelmina's house. Could you please give them to her for me?
He sticks out his hand. He seems to be quite shy, but he sticks out his hand. And it's like covered with clumps of dough and flour. Is sticking in his fur. He's got very sharp nails, but he very gingerly takes the keys from you. And then, as soon as you give it to him, he quickly goes through the doorway, which has like this curtain of beads. It looks all very homely here, and it just around the corner, and you hear a bit of a muffled conversation going on. You hear the sound of a key being dropped onto a table, and after just a few seconds, the boy runs back inside, and he says, "Wait, and then you just see him grabbing a paper bag, and he puts a few things in there, wraps it back up, and then he just holds it out with like 2 hands in front of you.
For me?
Emilia says thank you.
Thank you. And I grab it from him.
Okay.
Say thank you from me as well. Oh. Bye-bye. And on the way back to the group, I'll just put like half my head into the bag just to see what's in it.
As they walk out,
There
Eldwin nods his
are
head towards
you
the
notice that there are 4 freshly baked bread rolls in there. And give me 1 second. And just the very small palmier pastries that are braided with fresh raspberries in the middle. It was what he was making earlier.
Mm. Mm.
There's just one for
Shall we head
everyone.
back?
Is there
I'll be
anything
nice
you
and
would like
share.
to do during this exchange, Aldwin?
As they walk out, Eldwin nods his head towards the what was it again?
It's a hyena-like humanoid boy.
Right.
No.
He nods his head and walks after Lux. We need to start, well, first find a place to rest, and we need to start preparing for whatever these monsters rampaging around the town are.
I could use
So, of
I could use a good sleep.
yeah, you took quite a
It's
beating from
early
that
morning.
werewolf.
Just saying.
But we haven't slept yet.
Maybe
Well,
a pastry instead?
Well, yeah, of course, definitely. I'll take one and I'll just gone.
I'll give everyone a pastry.
Okay. We were attacked right at dawn, so we did have a rest a very short while ago. We just had a very intensive fight.
Okay, then we should rest.
We should take a short rest, but maybe we could actually just. Is there like a bench? Because we're like in the town center, right?
Yeah, no, there's like there's a small there's a small square where you have this notice board, and there are a few bushels of just brambles around it, and there's a small wooden bench. It seems a bit ramshackle. It's all tattered, very deteriorated. That you clearly see that this is a farming community. Doesn't have that much wealth, but it's got this certain charm to it, like a French countryside farming community style, with like big stone low walls and moss growing through the cobbles on the road, things like that.
Let's have a seat on the bench, talk a bit, eat this pastry, have a little rest.
That's a good plan.
Right about that fight, Brion. We need to get some better weapons. As Aldwin pulls out his sword and starts looking over his sword, which it is nicked. It needs to be repaired, basically, as well.
What's wrong with my pike?
Well, the bike itself, there's nothing wrong with it. Just that there are some creatures it is not effective on. As you notice, that werewolf wasn't doing anything to the werewolf. Wasn't even penetrating its hide. Even when you attempted to attack a specific part that was already damaged by Lux, it didn't do anything.
But I don't fool around with magic.
We don't need to do magic. We just need to get them silvered. That will already for werewolves do the trick.
Sounds expensive.
Depends on the blacksmith, but generally it's actually cheaper than buying magical weapons.
Could any blacksmith fix that?
In theory, any decent blacksmith should be able to take care of silvering a weapon, yes. Lux,
I have some silver.
you have silver?
Yes, I have 8.
Sorry, what?
I have 8. 8 silver.
Right, yes.
I don't think
No,
that's the kind of.
Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more than 8 silver. Actually, yes, I'm afraid. But also, your arrows could also be silvered, so that they're also effective against these type of creatures. If you don't just always want to be using your magic.
That might be smart.
It might be a good idea. So we should, after we find like a place to actually like take a where we can have sleep.
Did you know that my full name actually means touched by silverlight? So it's kind of fitting.
That's very nice. Very nice. And then
Sorry, you were saying? Sorry.
well, we should find a place to take a rest. I think the note that we found on the notice board says that we can actually have the right to room and board at the Elderman's hut, but the costs will be deducted from final pay. Now that is a point of discussion. But that's then probably the next place we should check out. Talk to the Ealdamans about the problems that they've been having with these creatures. I'm guessing the same creatures, that same creature as what the werewolf was that we encountered. Whatever that was. Also,
What's your theory on what's happening, Alban?
I'm not too sure. The theory is pretty thin, but the powder that we found, and I'll take out the it was like a brownish powder that we found, like a small satchel. I think this is, it's a theory. I still have to check it out and actually find an alchemist or a herbalist here in town to see if I can have access to their laboratory. That is a discussion that I'm gonna have to have.
Can I smell it?
This is, be very careful, but because I think it's some kind of drug that turns people into werewolves. That is my current running theory.
Okay, maybe I don't.
Can I have it?
No, because if what we saw is not something that can be controlled, and I'd rather not have a giant orc werewolf trying to kill us.
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea not to have happen.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yes, if it can be controlled, yes, it can be very cool. If it can't,
But who says you can't?
The werewolf we just killed.
Maybe I can.
Let's not find out just by doing this.
And what would happen if you can't control it?
Well, werewolves
We'll be
should
dead.
start trying to kill us, and anyone in close proximity.
Yeah.
You might die.
Yeah, rather not do that.
Okay.
But do you think that he was using this stuff and it made him into the thing?
Yeah, that's the running theory. It was a full moon, so it might also have the standard full moon part requirement, but I'm not too sure. Because
there was like no marks, no bites, nothing on him, right?
correct. No marks, no bites, no visible thing that would explain him being a werewolf. Of course, he could still be cursed, but there's always some kind of mark, even with a normal wizard witch curse. As far as I know, at least. Could be.
Yeah, I've heard that a werewolf wound stays visible forever.
Yeah,
Not sure if
it's a
it's
nasty
true
scar.
though.
Yeah. But yeah, so we should
So
see
someone-
if there's a... Go for it, Lux.
No, I was just thinking out loud. If someone's making them, or it might just be an accident, like a side effect, pretty massive one.
Possibly. something worth investigating after we actually get the job, of course. Because this time I'd rather get paid.
And some rest.
And some actual rest. Well, we've been sitting here for about like a couple minutes talking, eating our.
Pastry.
Want to take
What
15 minutes to have a nice conversation, enjoy the sun, and have a short rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That is
then
what
you
we
have
do.
now had
One
a
day
short
our
rest whilst
alchemist-
having a lovely brunch.
Nice. How does that work again?
Go to your character sheet. I think you have like 2 hit dice remaining, and you
Yep.
can roll the hit dice. But of course, declare how many.
To
you're gonna
tell
roll
me
first.
how many you roll before you roll, but you rolled 1, so you can only
Yep.
use 1. Cool.
I rolled 1.
I roll 1 as well.
Okay.
But I am going to use
1 or 2.
I'm going to use 1 for now.
Okay.
I'm going to use 1.
Zanamin, you feel fine?
I feel fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't taken any damage in the last fight, so.
What's on your mind? Do you want to say anything during this small brunch-like break in the middle of the test fields?
Yeah,
do anything?
I'm thinking there's another notice on the board, on the notice board, about Rocket's a bent plow. And I'm thinking really hard right now if we should also see if we can do anything about that, since Locke's mended the lock on the chest a couple of sessions ago. So she might be able to mend the plow, but I'm also thinking that that stone in his field, because it's his field that he actually farms on. I don't think he would have consciously kept large enough stones to bend his plow. So maybe that stone has something to do with the monsters rampaging through those parts. And I'm really thinking hard about that, and I haven't said anything. So
The stones.
yes.
What about the stones?
There was, according to the notice board, there's a stone in one of the farming fields, and it apparently bent one of the plows they used to plow the fields. And it might be, if you can do that mending stuff, that would be a really easy chore to do, and we might either get nothing from it, or we could get some information or
Gratitude.
anything like that.
Yeah, I would like
know.
that.
I don't know if you can do that, or
It depends
can.
on how broken it is.
yeah. It doesn't
If
sound
it's
like
just
it's.
the crack, I could fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So you've fixed things before. Should be fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to fix the plow first. Seems like an
Well-
easy enough job, and maybe the guy knows something about something else.
Yeah. I'm seeing some discoloration in that note. But that's just the paper that it's written on, or is it just there for centuries?
It's just a paper that's written on. Just a little bit of
Okay.
like decay. Like it's
Yeah.
not because it's there for centuries.
No, okay, yeah. Good. Then I should think we should do the easy stuff first and then go to the other one.
Okay.
One day, our temple's alchemist made a potion, and it turned someone purple. Sometimes the side effects can be really weird.
Nice. I'd like to be purple for a
I
day.
don't know.
I mean,
It's
always
better than
green
being
is
a werewolf, I guess.
very true. That, yeah.
I do like purple.
Me too. I'm just always green.
Hmm.
Gets boring.
Your
Do
break
you
has
get like a
ended.
darker shade of green in summer?
Well, it changes a little bit.
Maybe you're just dirty.
Maybe. I don't even remember the last time I've showered, actually.
So at this point, you smell her.
I'm used to it.
Might be time for a bath. So we're heading to the farmer then?
Yeah, I
Does
guess so.
Does anybody know the way?
No.
No, but we could ask. You know, random person. Do I see anybody on the street or on the?
Just make
ground?
a general
Yeah.
perception check. Well, you
No.
seem to be looking around, and at this time of day, it seems that the street is pretty deserted. You get a feeling with your intelligence that most people are probably working in the fields right now because the day has started. You know, work's
Did
got to
we-
be done.
Yeah, did we come by any farming fields while we went into town?
Many farming fields. Yes, this town. It's a small community. You see a few houses here and there, and outside of it, you see just fields and fields of crops, just wheat and salad and all kinds of sort of crops. You see carrots. Yeah.
Entire salad crops.
Oh, just kropsla.
Kropsla, heerlijk. Okay.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. Great, lettuce.
Well, let us find out where Rocket's farm is.
So what do you want to do?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we should go and find the alderman's house first. He can probably also tell us where the farmer named Rocket is.
Yeah, that's fine too. Doesn't really matter what sequence we do this stuff in.
We now listen to the sound of the blacksmith and find them first. They should be probably at the center square somewhere.
If this town has a blacksmith?
Well, they have farming tools, I hope so. Do I hear the sound of a
Yeah,
blacksmith
but
hammering away? In
Make
this?
a perception check.
do they have
I point my
silver?
20 ears with him.
Okay, then you can both make a separate perception check, or you help each other.
Let's do separate.
You roll.
Let's do that.
Sorry, can you tell me what you
Yeah,
decide?
what are we doing? Separate or together?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I said you can roll if you want to.
Perception, that's a 19.
Okay, so you look around, you listen for the sound that you're particularly looking for, and it doesn't take you very long to hear the telltale tink, 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 a little bit to your right. You see, when you walk into that direction, a small cobbled building with yellowed walls and a large black soot stains above what looks to be an enormous forge sitting on the side of this small building. It's got a red clay shingled roof and patches, which is patched up here and there with some bushels of twigs and straw. And in front of this forge, you see a large hyena like humanoid who's bent over with thick glasses perched on his snout. He seems to be wielding tongs and a handheld hammer, and as he picks up the piece of red hot glowing metal out of the forge, he's about to slam onto it again. You also see a wooden board hanging to the side, what looks to be this one-roomed building, and with on it you see the letters Scourge Hook Forge painted on them, and several of these letters are flipped horizontally in a very charmingly illiterate manner.
Sorry, Scourge? Hook?
Scourge Hook
Hook
Forge.
Forge.
Cord.
And it's like it's written by a 5-year-old who doesn't know that the E sometimes needs to go that way instead of that way and things like that.
Okay. Good morning, still, I'm assuming. Do you perchance have any weapons that we could have a look at?
Oh. Hello?
Hi.
And then he just he puts his tongue and everything down and all that kind of stuff. He just wraps his arms like, haven't seen you around here. Who are you?
We're new in town. My name is
No.
Alduin.
Alduin. No,
Hey.
I'm Nog.
Narg.
No.
Nice to meet you, Narg.
Scourge Hook, the name? Weapons, you say? Got no weapons.
No?
No.
Any chance you could silver weapons?
Silver weapons?
Yes.
I got no silver weapons.
No. Code pre-existing weapons in a layer of silver.
I've got hoofs. I've got tongs. I've got iron buckets if you need them. I can make hooves. Definitely. Like a plow just sitting out the back, bit bend.
Oh,
Can't
Rockets plow? Farmer Rocket?
Ah, he's Rocket's plow, yeah. He's been
saw that.
missing, the poor fella.
He is
For-
missing.
About a month now, yeah.
Oh, that's
Um,
kind of sad.
interesting. Are there perchance any other blacksmiths in this town? I'm assuming not.
No, I'm the only blacksmith. I'm pretty good at what I do. Just, most of the people don't believe it 'cause they call
It's
me
mostly
dog, but
tools.
I am good at what I do. And then he shows you one of his hoofs, and
Is it silvered?
he just looks at it. No, you pay with silver.
Then it's not going to work, Alduin.
No.
Well, if you hang it above your door, it's for good luck.
I've never
We
heard
could
of
use
that.
some luck, but we don't
Just
really have a door.
Put it
But-
upside down. Don't put it
No,
upside
then
down.
the luck just runs out of it.
Haven't made weapons in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of need our weapons silvered so that we can take on, the creatures that are currently trying to attack the village.
Are you doing that now? Oh, this is interesting. All right.
But
I
if
just-
you're not capable of performing that service, then I'm afraid that we're going to have to figure out another way.
I've never actually silvered a weapon before.
But do you know the
I've
process?
made clubs back in the day, before I settled down. Just don't tell the other villagers, But, I've just. It seems a bit of a waste putting silver on a weapon. Steel just cuts through meters best.
Unless you're fighting a werewolf, and then all of a sudden it doesn't do anything.
A werewolf.
Unless it is silvered.
I've been called a werewolf before.
We didn't.
Well, you are very
mean-
different from a werewolf, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Yes, but, some of the villagers are even stupider than what they call me to be.
Well, people are
Just because I can't write.
wrote this, did you not?
I know, I tried. Did it all by myself.
Looks good. I can read what
Yeah.
it says.
Looks good. My
Well-
writing isn't that good either.
Yes, Baker's wife helped me with it. It's the only one that's worth saving if you ask me.
Yeah, she's... Well, I think her whole family is special. Right.
She doesn't have a family yet. That no good son of a husband hasn't returned for a few days. Hope he doesn't return.
Well, be careful what you wish for.
Anyway, I think we will have to discuss some things amongst the group. But you do have knowledge of silvering weapons, you just have never done it, correct?
I've no knowledge of silvering weapons, but if you've got someone to tell me how to do it, I'd probably be able to do it. You know, just like the baker's wife, she told me how to write my name, and I've written my name quite well.
Have I ever read the principles of silvering weapons? Like, is it just a layer of silver on top of the actual weapon, or is it infused with the weapon?
Is any of you are any of you proficient in blacksmithing?
I'm definitely not, but I might have some theoretical knowledge of how silvering works.
That is a very specific part of blacksmithing. I would allow it if you have some general knowledge of how blacksmithing works, but I don't know. This is a very specialized blacksmithing practice.
Of alchemy, which also deals with... I'm proficient in alchemy.
You know how to melt silver. That might be... You know how to melt it.
Yeah,
but none of you are proficient in blacksmithing, so you might have to... Yeah, look around.
To the library.
I can't hear you, Brion. Can you say that again?
Can't we just, with a rope, make silver coins to our weapons?
Like a charm?
Please,
that...
I like where you're going. That might work for a club. Don't know if that'll work for a sword.
Shove it in a wound.
Oh.
Poke him first and then poke a silver coin in it.
I don't know, could dip some arrows in silver. That doesn't seem that too complicated. Just melt it down, dip it in, but it's gonna be costly.
And if you do it with the tip of a pike?
The pike is not that big as either.
But the thing is, it'd make them blunt. I don't know how to make it sharp.
You could file it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a waste of the silver. I could try, but it's gonna be a lot of practice.
And I don't want someone to fuck up my pike. I like my pike.
Yeah. I don't know, if you could bring me someone who actually knows how to silver a weapon, I could definitely try it out for you, but for now...
Try to find someone.
Maybe a dwarf. Dwarfs are good.
And Narj,
had a dwarf teach me how to make hooves.
There's not like an old dwarf in the village or anything, right? I'm guessing.
No. But you know, in the tavern, there are always travellers from Western. You know, I've seen some weird people coming in and out there. Including, like, a real foxy lady. She came in just last night, had 2 swords on her back. That very pretty one. Just, her skin was as black as coal. Had her head shaven. I liked it. I like it when ladies are bold.
Wait, did you say 2 swords?
Yeah. I was wondering what she was doing here. Normally we just get travellers from Western that just, you know, are interested in helping out with the fields. It's just, you know, slum workers that have no work in the city, and they come over here and just, you know, work out in the fields, grab the letters, things like that. If you ask me, it's a poor job they do, but we need them every year a little bit more. Don't have that many new people in terse fields. everyone's interested in going to Whiterun these days.
Well, it's a larger town.
Very
Much more
large
people.
town. Well, if you're looking for someone to silver weapons or Whiterun, I've heard of that place. It's got this madman who creates a clock tower. It I don't even know what clock tower is, but I've heard it's very special.
It can help you keep time.
Well,
Sell you
we've
for
got
some.
we've got a son for that. Why would you need a tower?
Anyway, thank you for your help. If we find someone who can teach you, then we'll definitely bring them back.
Yeah, I'd love to. I love learning. As you can see, I've learned a lot.
As I inspect like the tools, like if I
Yeah.
just look them over, what type of quality are we talking about? Like I know weapons.
Or you can make an investigation check if you really want to touch them, or just a general perception check if you don't want to.
No, I don't want to know just the general perception. Like I don't want to.
Okay, make a perception check.
Like a quick overlook on the weapons. A calculated 20.
This man has made everything with great care, and these hooves are identical to each other. Like whatever he's doing it very well. You know, thinking about it, that he's able to write his own name and on like you've heard of gnolls that aren't that quite intelligent, but this one isn't illiterate. Like he seems to be able to read and is intelligent enough to learn new trades. So it's interesting to see.
So definitely has potential if he
Very
has
much
the right
so.
teacher. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has the
I'll note that
potential.
down. Noting that down.
And
Great.
eager enough to learn as well. He seems like his eyes glimmer at the prospect of learning something new.
Okay.
We
Well,
should remember that.
yeah. Well, thank you. We will be. Well, if we find someone, we'll be back. Definitely.
All right, Aldwin, was it?
Yes, Aldwin.
Nice
Before I go, could you point us into
meeting
the
you.
direction of the Alderman's house?
Oh, that's very easy. So if you look over there, you have got the house with the large tip up into the air, and then it's got these wooden carved. I carved them. They're very nice. So, and then what he's talking about is like these wooden carved things at the top of the building in the form of eagle heads. And it looks like this sloped roof down, and it looks like this house is just a little bit more decorated on the outside. It looks a bit nicer than all the cobwalled buildings and the straw roof houses dotted here and there. So, as he points it out, it's obvious that that's the Elderman's house.
Yeah. Thanks. Or see you again.
Yeah, and you know, say hi to Miles from me.
We'll do.
He does good work. Doesn't, keeps the humans calm about us.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good, especially now there. What would you say? Werewolves roaming about? No wonder they're blaming us. We're the ones with the fur on our backs.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can help out with that problem.
Yeah.
Well, I
Wouldn't
have
want
pointy ears,
a horde in front of my house.
so-
Sorry, what did you say, Lux?
I said, well, and I have pointy ears, so do werewolves, but definitely not the same.
Definitely not the same.
Well, keep up the good work. It looks like quite something.
Thank you. Thank you. He seems to shine just a little bit with pride, just puffing up his chest, doubling himself in size, almost hitting his head against a beam.
Okay. Let's go, guys.
Right. Well, if you need anything, just let me know.
Will do.
Definitely.
As we are walking towards the Alderman's house.
Mm-hmm.
Alderman's house next
Yeah.
up, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So, Rion, did you see those tools?
Yeah.
Impressive craftsmanship. Like, real good. Better
Well,
than.
we're smooth buckets.
Well, I was more looking at like the pickaxes and the hoes. the way they were finished and stuff.
Right.
If that man had a good teacher, he would rival even the oldest dwarf in craftsmanship. Like he is.
I
really
hope
good.
so. I mean, my pike is my buddy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I get what you mean. My sword is my partner as well.
I wouldn't like him fucking up my weapons.
I don't think he will. If I see how much care he takes of those tools, it'll be fine. But we need someone with knowledge to help him with silvering the weapons. Maybe the alderman knows
Ooh.
someone.
He could make silvered pitchforks for all the villagers. That would be kind of cool.
That would be pretty cool.
And
Silver
expensive.
pitchforks. And
Shiny.
really expensive. Yes, really very expensive. Oh man. Right. We should go talk to the alderman. On the way there, I would like to keep my eye out for an herbalist or an alchemist if I see someone when we're passing by.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh, I closed all the things. Perception. There we go. A 13.
You see a grocer, you see a baker, you see a well, and then that blacksmith. There's a very small general store in the form of a stall, and that is about it. That's
Right.
all this town has to offer.
Yeah, it's a small farming village, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It might be that there is some sort of a village woman who maybe
Innocent
does some
there.
things with tinctures and things like that, but so far you don't see any of that around.
Right. Okay. Right. I will not do anything with that information further, but just keep it in my head.
Oh, we'll head over to the alderman.
The alderman.
Yeah. Okay. That is a man who's just stepping outside of the alderman's house. He does not seem to be dressed as a farmer, but also not wealthy by any means. Just a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, but still quite plain and how do I say it? Functional. And he looks over his shoulders as he sees you all approaching him. Hello? Ah, new travelers.
Oh, hi.
Anything I
Yes.
can help you with?
Well, my name is Alduin.
Oh, Elderwin. Well, nice to meet you. I'm the Elderman.
And then I'll point
Hello,
at
I'm Salita Manya Oramandin, but you can call me Lux.
What? Wait, hold up. There's no
Uh,
Lux in that name.
Well, I'm Elderman Miles McConnell, and you can call me whatever you want, doll.
Hi, I'm Brion.
Brion, you're a tall gal if I've ever seen one.
Thank you. Awkward smile.
He awkwardly smiles back.
I love, like, that Brion is just always saying, like, awkward smile.
Is there anything I can help you people with? Is there any particular reason you're
Well,
here?
We're here about the note on the notice board. The
Okay.
exterminate the recent monsters rampaging around town.
Well, you see this man, which he has introduced himself as the Elder Man. He looks to be like a friendly man, just in his 30s, quite healthy, has a scruffy beard, and bright blue eyes. He puts his hand on a door. Well then, let's get back inside into my office and talk about that. You seem like a few capable adventurers ready to help.
And willing.
Yeah.
So we
All
are.
right. And then he invites you inside of his house. It's a very small hallway that he's walking through, and he passes a few doors. It's not a big house. It's just there's one door to the right, one door to the left, and one a little bit further up to the right. He opens this door. There's a very small office. It barely fits you all. There are 2 chairs before the desk and 1 chair behind the desk. He's going to take a seat behind the desk, and then he just points at the chairs. I'm terribly sorry. I don't have that much furniture, but make yourself comfortable. You see that it's a very functional office, but there's a bit of decoration here and there that hints at a woman in his life, like a vase with flowers on a desk and a nice carpet on the floor. So, you're all here for the notice I've put on the board?
Yes,
You seem
Yeah.
like adventurous to me.
we are.
Well,
Yeah, so
I'll
we
try
kind
to
of
be
covered
as
that,
much help as
okay.
I can. What do you want to know? Lux?
Haldwin?
Well, you were saying something.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I looked at a note. So, rampaging monsters. What type of rampaging monster are we talking about?
Personally, I've not seen them, but the information I've gathered so far is that some of the families have been missing some of their sheep, and a cow was slaughtered not a month ago, around the same time as when that poor girl from the Ferndale family went psychotic. I've been trying to help the father. I've had him questioned, but a rock saw it all happening through the open door. It ran towards it, but was too late to do anything. 'Twas self-defense, and I trust that man with my life. Still,
Right, that's Sheila you're talking about, right?
yes, from the Ferndale family.
Right.
Yeah.
We when coming into town, we had a little encounter with a werewolf.
A werewolf, you say?
Yes, I have. And it was a full moon. You said that the last attack was about a month ago.
Yeah. Well, it must have been full moon then as well. We've
Yeah.
got 2 more nights of full moon ahead of us. A werewolf? Do you think... What did you do with the werewolf you encountered?
Well, it is no longer a problem.
Well, does that mean we are saved?
Would rather first see what happens in the coming nights.
Because
to
it's
be
interesting.
sure of that.
From the information that I've gathered so far, because in the days that followed with Sheila was murdered by her father when she went psychotic. No, we still had missing farm animals all over the place. Sounds coming from the forest, unnatural howls of wolves. Last night we had trouble again. Path of carnage through the chicken pen of the Ziegler family. And they'd locked all doors, but something was trying to get inside.
At around what time was this? Early evening?
It was just, you'd have to ask Magnus Ziegler himself. He would be better suited with all of the details about this. The thing that bothers me the most is that half of the community is blaming the gnolls. But I think it's not just one creature. It must be multiple. Especially talking to Iraq, there's things happening at the same time throughout the entire village, especially last night. It's not just the Ziegler family. A lot of families are affected.
Iraq. Who is Iraq?
So Iraq. It's Iraq soil gleam. It's works in the farm fields of the bakery, reaps the crops, works the family mill there.
He's a gnoll, correct?
Yes, he
I
is
think we have
one.
met him. Yes, I think we have
Oh,
met
yes,
him, actually.
quiet, stoic, doesn't say much, but
Big
very
guy.
loyal.
Yeah, we've met. All right. Araxo Grim. So he does like night watch duty, stuff like that. If I'm talking to you, like, sounds like that.
Well, since the recent attacks, he has been watching during night, mostly to protect his boys and, Amelia.
Right. Yeah.
Would you like to know which families have been affected so far? I'm not just.
Besides the Siegler, yes.
So let me think about it. I think, well, Magnus Ziegler had his chicken pen destroyed just last night. I think he'd have the most chance to get any tracks from whatever monster, if it might be a werewolf over there. Arak said that he'd also seen some tracks around the Baker's family pigsty, but that would be early night. And he suspects that there were two different creatures. Well, you could find Arak soil gleam around the baker in town. He's helping Emmy out there recently. Her husband has been missing as well. I fear the worst.
Yes.
Then there's also the tracks around Quick Willie's bar. It's the Tersfields Tavern in town. But I'm not sure if it's just monsters or drunkards. But Willie has also nowhere been seen, just like Emmy's husband. I just gotten word that Ernst Ziegler is missing as well, which is Magnus's son. And perhaps some of the up-to-no-good friends he has made in a thirsty tavern with some of the temp workers. I'm not sure it's just a young boy sneaking off to do some shading things with them townsfolk that come over here for the harvest, but we'll make a quick buck. But the boy has really gotten his knees deep in cow shite this time.
Let's see. So just to recap quickly, Magnus Ziegler's son is missing.
Yeah,
correct?
But I'm not quite sure if that has anything to do with the attacks.
Well,
could be,
Just
you know.
writing down. Alduin is sitting there writing down, like, in his notebook, like he's writing down. Well, anything could be connected. Everything could be connected, possibly. So
Very much so. That's why I'm trying to tell you all.
So, Quick Willie's bar, that's the Turstfield Tavern.
Yes.
Its owner is missing.
Yes, Quick Willie himself.
The owner is missing, Quick Willie himself, right?
Yes.
And there have been tracks around the Thirsty Tavern.
Could be drunkards, could be more. We don't really know.
Right.
And then the chicken pen.
Yeah, but that was the chicken pen was Magnus Ziegler's chicken pen. There were also tracks around the pigsty. Who owned that one?
Oh, that would have been the baker's pigsty.
The baker's pigsty.
But Arak says that he has chased whatever creature that was there away.
Okay.
Good man, you know.
Yeah, he seemed like a good man when we met. We met him very shortly.
I have a day's task just getting most of the villagers off my back about the gnolls that live in this community, but they've been living here for years. No troubles. It's just recent.
Eldwin, should we tell him the rest about the werewolf?
Yes, I'll get to that in a sec. But you're right. Yes, we should definitely tell him. But one more question that I have right now is, when did these problems start?
That would have been last month, last moon, if you are interested.
And the problems stopped when the full moon ended.
Yeah, we've not had any trouble. About 2 nights after. So after the Ferndale girl went psychotic, it really shocked the community. She'd killed her mother and 2 sisters, and then her father had to bash her head in.
Was she then known to visit the Thirstfield Tavern?
Oh, well, her father is definitely visiting the Tersfields Tavern these days. What can you blame him? Drinking away his sorrows. He's lost his entire family.
Okay. Right. So we can fill one hole in for you at least. Let me just grab my. He goes through his notes. Right. Emilia's husband, Henrik. He was the werewolf that we encountered last night.
Oh,
We have already told Emilia about this, so she knows that her husband will not be coming home.
that's very dire news.
Yes. So that is a hole we can fill in for you. Just to tell everyone as well, like if I'm reading these notes, if I'm looking at this,
We have a werewolf problem that's been biting my villagers.
Yes, and it seems to be spreading around. So I'm
Terrible.
feeling that Sheila was one of the first to be infected, who then, well, killed most of the family, and in the struggle, well, they have also infected other people, including Henry. And
But he wasn't bitten, though.
not as far as I could find, no. But there must be something going around. Do you perchance know anything about this? And I'll pull out the satchel of brown powder. Do you know what this is?
And he takes the satchel and just looks at it.
Careful with it, though. I have theories, but I would like to know if you know anything about it.
I don't. It looks like some sort of dust.
Do I believe the man?
Make an insight check.
I think I do.
Can I join in on that one?
Yes, sure. Both make separate insight checks.
I believe him, which I already kind of did. Ooh. Where's Spurs? Where's Spurs? Where's Spurs? Today's game is sponsored by Water.
Wait.
Other brands are available.
Whispers.
Whispers. Whispers are happening. Aldwin will take back the satchel. Tie it back up.
You have no reason to think otherwise.
No. Interesting. Do you perchance have a medicine healer or an alchemist or an herbalist in the town? Someone with knowledge of medicine?
That would have been Sheila.
Did she have a lab of sorts?
Not necessarily. She just had a home, a few pots and pans. She would just create the salves and ointments and tinctures whenever someone had a club foot or a fungus between their toes. Nothing earth-shocking. If anyone had a terrible problem, we often got them to Westruun for real medicine help. Or medicinal needs.
I look the alderman straight into his eyes and kind of cock my head and ask him, do you really want us to help you?
I do, yes. I'm desperate to find out what has happened to my people. And I really want to be able to bring them back to safety.
Then why are you lying to us?
I'm not lying. I promise you. I've been truthful about what has happened so far.
Well, I'm not the smartest, but I'm good at finding out when someone is not really telling the truth. And you're not telling the truth about this stuff. You know what it is. You know something at least.
Make a persuasion check. Or intimidation.
I am so proud right now.
Brion
Damn
will
it!
kind of straighten her back and just gets a little bit bigger.
I promise you, everything I've told you so far is everything I can tell you. If you have any more questions, I'll be happy to help.
I have another question.
Yes.
Why is this all you can tell us?
I can
You're
tell you
not
what the
telling
reward
everything.
is. It's all of the information I know so far.
We might be wasting our time here, guys.
Are you not interested in the reward? I've been able to gather some gold pieces here and there, some promises made by the families affected.
Well,
I am interested in the reward, and I'm even more interested in the safety of those people here. They are like innocent farmers that can't defend ourselves, and
Very much so. And the only thing that I'm desperate to keep my people safe. Just, I hope you
me
believe that.
add a short thing to our story. See, we have recently come over from Merkfall, where we also tried our best to help out the village. Yet the thing is that Mr. Meyersdorf, the person in charge of the village, you must know him, the alderman of this village, did also not completely tell us everything that he knew at the start. And
Sorry.
Sentiment, what are you doing?
Sentiment's just standing in the back, just messing around with stuff.
Yeah, he's just like looking at books, and then a book dropped onto the floor, and the alderman just looks at Zeneman at that point.
I dropped my water bottle.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Meyersdorf also did not tell us everything that he knew, and let's just say that ended up causing, well, his own death, his wife's death, and a lot of innocent people in the village to also die. If we had known everything at the start, that would not have had to happen. Now,
yeah,
if you are
that's
saying that you are telling us the full truth, then that is of course fine. But if there is anything else that you know, I beg of you to tell us, because it could save a lot of lives.
Make a persuasion check.
Damn it. Okay, here we go. Come on, roll 20. God damn it, roll 20.
If you find out what has happened to my people and are able to bring them back to safety, there's a significant reward for that. Ziegler even has promised to reward 25 gold pieces and one of his prized cows as a reward for bringing his son back. And I'm sure if you save the old batter, Willie, he'll be able to reward you something around the same price as well. He's one of the richer people in town, and he looks at Lux with a meaningful look in his eyes. I myself, if you manage to free the Turst Fields or whatever monsters are roaming around here, will reward you 100 gold pieces out of my own coins, and a writ to the Margrave Brandon Zimmer set of Westrun for your heroic deeds. It's all I can offer, but it might help you in acquiring some influence in Westrun if you're interested in doing tasks for the ruling class there. I don't have many means, and it's only a poor farming community here, and I can't offer you more for your aid in this endeavor. But if there's anything else you might need, just ask, and I'll really try and do my best to provide.
Have a look at the rest of the party. Well, I was
Do you maybe know someone who can silver weapons?
That that is very much out of my district here. We have no need for silvering our equipment. We do have a blacksmith,
Yeah.
a
Yes.
very capable Knoll. He
You're
makes
correct.
wonderful tools.
We've actually met him. He told us where to find you. He is
Very
very,
I'm
nice guy.
very good.
I'm sure if you explain to him how, he'd probably be able to pick it up in no time.
Yeah, we don't have that knowledge, I'm
Problem
afraid.
is, well,
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always willing to help. Definitely for a price, but I hear the price. What about you guys?
While we're
sounds
here,
good to me.
We're already wrapped into it.
mhm.
Yep.
Alduin stands up.
Very
puts out his
grateful,
hand.
and he shakes the hand. And you're more than welcome to stay the night over here in my home. I only ask you for a small pay for the food. That's about it. My wife is a wonderful cook.
Well, we always love good meals.
Well, I only have one room. It has 2 beds in it from my late sons, but other than that, you're free to stay here.
I think that'll work out.
That's
Um,
that's amazing. I mean, food and a place to sleep. I
very
take
well.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lux, what do you think?
Sure, why not?
Good.
We have some things to discuss amongst ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
Do you have like a sitting room or anything in the house?
This room, if you want to be left alone, I could lend you my office for the occasion, or I could show you your room and you can make yourself comfortable there, however you wish.
Let's go to the room then.
All right, and then he opens the door, leads you all out, and he leads you to the end of the hall, which is a small staircase that goes up to a very large attic-like floor that is split into 2. And he opens one door, leads you inside, and you see a very cute bug bat that must have been for boys back in the day. It's nicely cleaned, very cozy. It's got a small desk and 2 chairs there. But
I'm not.
if you want some drinks, I could send my wife up for some nice iced teas. Anything you need.
Uh, I'm fine.
And I just want to say, I'm very grateful you're willing to help out my community. Very much so. And then he just closes the door and leaves.
Right. So,
Right.
Lux, you're not sure about this, are you?
I hate people just lie in your face like that. It really gets on my nerves.
What did he do?
He definitely knows what that stuff is.
yes, he
I could
does.
see it. The way he just twitched it. Twitched.
Yes, yes, he does. And
Oh, it gets me so worked up I can't even speak.
so, after that conversation, he also gave us a tip about it.
Yeah. What was it he said?
It's not what he
That
said.
the one guy is.
Richer than all of the other ones. Yeah. So, if I'm looking at my notes and everything that I've written down, everything seems to sort of happen around that tavern. At least all the disappearances do.
Yeah.
And everyone who has been to the tavern, as far as I could check, Sheila was a bit. He didn't know, but if I'm looking at everyone who's disappeared and well, to be fair, who's probably become a werewolf, has been to that tavern regularly. So,
Still have that note that was in Henry Baker's pocket.
Yeah.
yes, I do. I have that note, but I don't have that written down.
It's in your notes.
It is in my notes.
Yeah, it's in mine. So
Yeah.
It is not in mine. I did not transcribe that note.
no mysterious note. My darling Willard,
Go
from
to
the
roll 20
first
right now.
moment,
Yep,
I
it's
set eyes upon you. Do you have it, or do you want me to keep on reading?
I did. No, I did remember that she wanted to meet at the Thirsty Field Tavern again. It is the center of everything.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna quickly
definitely
transcribe the note. Write the note into my notes.
yeah.
But yes, it does seem that the tavern is sort of the center of everything that is going on.
The note specifically says, "I will wait by the well in Thirst Fields every day by dusk." That might also have been something.
Oh right, we have confirmation that she was in the Thirsty Field Tavern because it says in a note. She has been there before, and she is apparently
Yeah.
a regular. Magnus Siegler introduced us. Again, Magnus also someone who. No, Magnus Siegler is the father. His son has
Yeah,
disappeared.
his son.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use an ale.
Why didn't you ask him when you went downstairs? Maybe he has some ale. Oh, you want to go to the
visiting
tavern.
the tavern.
Right. See, I specifically do not want you to turn into a werewolf because that would be really bad.
No, but I could be the mean silent one. I can just stand there, my arms crossed, my chest puffed up. I'll fart once in a while. I promise I won't touch anything. Although the thought of also being able to be a werewolf sounds really cool to me.
Yeah, I think it sounds better than it actually is. I think you'll
Sounds
probably
good.
be itchy all the time. You can't really drink ale because it's so unwieldy. I don't know.
Well, I actually know a couple of werewolves, and they can actually control their powers, but it takes years to get there.
And
Gonna
what
think
will we
about
do in
that.
the meanwhile?
What?
What will we do in the meanwhile with you? It's gonna be exhausting.
I don't know exactly
know.
what they go through to get to control at that point. I was studying other things.
I'll think about that later. I'll sleep on it.
I also want to go to the tavern. Someone I want to meet there. Right. Next steps. Tavern. I need to investigate the brown powder. Well, I want to investigate the brown powder, see if I can figure out what it is, but I need an herbalist's lab or an alchemist's lab to do that. And there's not really one in this town, except for apparently Amelia had some, or Sheila had some supplies. But yeah, I do not know if there's any left of that.
From what you heard, it's not the equipment that you're
No.
seeking for. It's more like a herbalist that,
Yeah.
puts some salves together and calls it a solution.
I still have some wounds that I'd like to tend to.
You want me to have a look at
Drink
them?
off, you mean?
Hmm?
Drink off, you mean?
Nah, rest up.
Let me have a look at this once.
Emmeline.
What did you say, Aldwin?
Well, I can have a look at this wounds, but I would require something for that though. There was a general store. We passed one on the way to the Alderman's house. Yes. Does anyone have?
I mean, I don't know what the plan is tonight, but for as now, I'm still not really in a mint condition to
Yeah,
have a full-on brawl with a werewolf again.
yeah. I need
None
this
of us.
to. Well, we're also going to watch the town tonight. That was what I was thinking. So we
So
might
that
wanna
means no sleep.
sleep before evening, yes, and then be able to be awake through the evening.
That would be nice.
So, what's the time right now, Miss DM?
It would be before midday.
Before midday, right? So
Yeah.
kind of the perfect time. Okay.
And just saying, you can only have one long rest every 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. I'm also aware of that. Right.
Well, normally I would patch you up a little, but I think I should kind of hold on to my strength for today as well.
Yeah.
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 Actually,
How bad are you?
How bad? Oh, I mean, if we do a fight like that again,
you know,
I'll be on my knees in like the end of the fight.
Give me like half an. I'll be back in half an hour. I need to go buy something. Who's got the money that we got from the last job?
I have a lot of money.
I need some to buy supplies.
How much?
Not too sure. Could be 50 gold, could be more, but it will help out a lot with those wounds.
I'll drop you 100.
Thank you. And well, I'm just going to pop over to the general store real quick. Anyone needs something from the general store as well? You are welcome. to
I'll
go
tag along. Yeah. Don't really need anything, but
Go with you.
Yeah.
So, at the general store,
Yes.
what would you like to purchase?
Well, I would like to buy a healer's kit.
Which you are able to purchase for 5 gold pieces.
Oh,
And
I thought it
the
was
kit
more.
has a leather pouch containing bandages, salves, and splints. It has 10 uses.
You know what? I'll buy 2 if they are available.
There are 2 available.
And at this point, I've only actually used my own money. Right. Do you perchance sell any healing potions here?
No,
Do not. Okay.
you'd have to go to Westruun for that.
I was afraid of that. Well, thank you very much. Anything unique, Cinnamon Bucks?
nothing I really need.
I think I still have food for like 9 days. That should be plenty, I guess, for the trip to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I used most of my rations. But for now it should be fine. I've still got 4, so for now it's fine. Could I actually request a short break? Short pee break.
Let's have a 5-minute, 10-minute break.
Cool.
Let's do a 10-minute break then from
10-minute
here.
break. Everyone,
Okay.
We will be back in 10 minutes to continue
Okay.
Okay.
with investigating.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. We're back.
Hello.
We've had our break. Okay.
Nice.
Now let's see. I think everyone just went to the general store to purchase a healer's kit. Well, Eldwin needed to purchase 2 healer's kits and inquire about some other things that like healing potions, which were unfortunately not present. You are now in the middle of town, close to the notice board once again, which is basically the middle of town. And you are gathered there underneath the midday sun and discussing the plans of, I believe, going to Quick Willie's Bar or whatever else you may have on your mind. What is it that you would like to do? And let's start with Zanamin. Zanamin, what are you doing?
I'm taking a moment to look at the general store and whatever is in there. It's just a normal general store in a small town, so that's
In
there's
a
not
small
really
village community.
small, yeah. So there's nothing else than the general supplies.
Yeah, just general supplies. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, I'm just looking around. Yeah. There's not really that much I need from that. There's absolutely nothing I need from this general store other than not wanting to send in Alduin by himself. Not that he's by himself right now, but I'm thinking about what is going to happen in a few tonight when they're going to see what is happening at that tavern and what could possibly be there that would change people into werewolves, monsters. And I'm thinking about visiting before that and seeing if I can recognize the footprints that are left there around the tavern.
You're already at the tavern and you want to investigate these footprints or tracks around the tavern.
I would want to do that if we are there, but
Okay.
are we there now?
Does anyone have any objections into moving this scene towards the tavern?
Before we go there, I would like to quickly discuss something. I was just thinking about what you guys said about that not every one of us is looking that well, health-like. Well, do you guys remember the fight in the forest near the flowers when we almost all died at the same time?
Yeah.
I remember, yes.
Well, sometimes if I really believe in it and my friends are really hurt, I can kind of, give everyone a little boost. But it won't fully heal you, but it might be enough to at least get away if we really need to.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we could try and find some place to retreat if it gets really hairy. And I could just, use my final energy to kind of give you a boost, and we could just run over there and hope that this thing doesn't follow us.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest plan, but
No, it's a good
It's
idea.
plan.
It's a good fallback. It is a good fallback.
Better than no plan.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
yeah. Something like a silver box would be nice. But that's also expensive.
Yeah.
Isn't there a cheaper way to keep werewolves out or away?
Silver? Yeah.
Do I know of any other weaknesses or fears that werewolves have?
Can I help with that?
I think you already rolled I think you rolled for a werewolf during the fight already. And I gave you the information about their immunities back then.
Yeah.
He didn't
So
really
does the-
seem to like fire that much.
No, fire will work.
Me holding them was working out very good.
But fire might be easier than silver to obtain, or maybe both. I don't know.
Well, I already have fire, but it's not very strong on my sword.
At this point where you...
Yeah, sorry, go for it.
So it's at this point where you're still having this conversation where Zanamin sees the tavern, and you break a little bit away from the group to investigate whatever you can find around the tavern. What are you particularly looking for, Zanamin?
I'm particularly looking for the footsteps, that the strange footsteps that are left around the tavern
Okay.
from
Around-
creatures.
Okay, so you're specifically trying to look for werewolf paw prints or monstrous footsteps.
No, yeah, that.
Okay. Make a investigation check, please.
Do you need any help with that?
I think I can manage. Why is my... Give me a second. I believe my... Oh, wow.
Okay. It's taking a little bit of a time for you. I think at this point, if the others choose to do so, they can already go inside because you are very engrossed in looking in and around the tavern, taking your time to look at these prints. So, like you're, determined to find these footprints that people were talking about, and you do eventually find something. What you find is wolf-like paw prints at what seems to be the back door of this tavern. And because you see that, you take a little bit more time to look in and around this doorpost, and you find claw marks scratching in this door as well. And the lock seems to be broken, so something with brute force has tried to force itself out. And then with these prints that are very muddled, very difficult to discern amongst all of the prints of just normal patrons going in and outside of this bar, it seems to be leading out in some way. And then you can't really discern it further up in the turf fields anymore because there's too many footprints of just normal people going about that day everywhere. But you do notice that something was inside and broke out.
Okay, great. After that, I will follow the rest of the group into the tavern.
But I'm just saying it took quite some time to do this. So in the meantime, do you want to just watch him look around, or do you choose to go inside yourselves without Cinnamon for now? Aldwin.
I will wait. I will watch Cinnamon do his thing. Like I'll wait outside with him.
Okay, so everyone, like for a good 40 minutes to an hour, is watching Cinnamon just look around. Yeah, it's nearing the afternoon now, and what would you like to do?
Should we should we go talk? I mean, obviously not me. But do you guys want to observe?
You want to stand in the back and look intimidating.
That's kind of my thing, but I don't know what the plan is. I mean, do you want to just scout out the place? Because then might not be the right person to go in right now.
Well, honestly, I just want to talk to some people, see what they know, see what's going on.
You're not inside yet, I presume.
No, we're outside.
No.
No, we're still outside.
Well.
Is it even still open with the owner missing?
Still open.
Do people just
Oh, well,
circle?
it seems to be there are patrons inside. There's sounds coming from inside to the outside.
Cinnamon, you found anything interesting?
Something broke out of the tavern for some reason.
Out?
Out. Not in, but out. I don't know how to explain this.
Something
If I
like
had
what?
to... Yeah. Well, it looks like wolf sprints. So it could be the werewolf, if it's big enough. And since since Willie is missing, the person that runs this tavern, it might be that he changed into a werewolf somehow. Or it could be one of the other missing people that changed suddenly. But anything is a guess at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just home all along
Oh.
till now.
Is there any way to know how fresh these prints are?
No, you had trouble finding them.
Yeah, okay. Good.
And it's very difficult to even find them.
Yeah.
But you make a good guess that I just might be last night or the night before.
Okay.
Not the last moon, anyway.
No, these were very recent. In the last couple of days.
Eldrin, would those be the size of a werewolf?
I check. Are they?
Make a investigation check with advantage because it's been your help pointed out.
No idea.
Actually, you take some time, even like together with Xanamin, and you're doing your best, and you have a feeling that it definitely is a werewolf, especially with your recent encounter with a werewolf and all the scuffle around the camp that morning. You could safely deduce that these are werewolf prints.
Right. You know what I don't understand? I'll take everyone like a bit to the side of the tavern, not to be right in front of it. You know what I don't
This
understand?
back door is the side of the tavern.
Oh, okay,
by
so
the way.
we're already like out of like.
There isn't many people outside, and the only windows are at the front of the tavern, and you're like at the right side. So, like, if you have the tavern like this, you're at the right side of the tavern. I could show you a map if you'd like.
Yes, please.
You know what I don't understand?
Okay, then up.
If they turned during the full moon, like as soon as the moon went down, they would have reverted to the original form. They would probably be somewhere in the forest, guessing as where we found Henry. But why aren't they coming back?
Well,
they might be lost, sure.
Yeah.
None of them? Because there's at least like 3 people that we know of that are missing. There's probably more.
You also told us that there were no marks on the body that we, that we found on Hendrik. There were no obvious bite marks.
Yeah.
So I think we should throw away most of what we know about werewolves at this point. Because everything we see is not following a normal werewolf.
Maybe they're part of like a bigger community and they want to stay there, or maybe they are scared because they've heard some of the other villagers or their chickens, and they don't dare to return and tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's also possible.
Or maybe they don't even remember.
But then people, well, why wouldn't they come back? Like, I don't get it.
Do we have like a clear timeline of when who went missing? I mean, the first attack was like a month ago, and then it was like pretty silent for a month, I guess. Till yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
So Sheila was the first to go in. Well, to lose it. She was killed by her father. But that would mean she would have infected other people before that.
Like her lover.
Yes. Henry.
Yeah.
But Henry...
When did Willie go missing?
when did Henry go missing? That's a very fair question. When did Henry go missing? Because the note was already on the notice board, but it was like last night was the first full moon, right? It was the first night of the full moon.
Yeah.
And we arrived here in the morning. So to put up a note right after one night, that's very quick. We should see Emilia and ask when he went missing exactly. I don't think we asked that.
Yeah. You wouldn't hang that notice up the first night he was gone, I guess. But you wouldn't also wait a month to hang that notice.
Yeah.
You have a feeling that she just hung up that note when you
Right.
Yeah.
moved into town?
I don't
Well,
know,
maybe
when
she
someone
is.
returns every night and all of a sudden he doesn't, I might hang up the note right away.
Yeah,
I
fair.
would be worried.
Fair.
Yeah.
Let's just go inside the tavern. Let's just go talk to some people, see what's going on inside.
Do we go through the front or
Yes.
the back?
We should go from, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Inside the bar, you see a few people drinking some ale. Behind the bar is a fiery, red-headed, homely-looking girl with buck teeth. She seems to be working hard to keep things clean and tidy as she moves from table to table, taking care of the very few patrons inside. In the back, near the fireplace, is an alabaster black-skinned woman clad in dark leathers with a deep cleavage that reveals a remarkable tattoo etched on her sternum. She has two swords strapped to her back, and she briefly makes eye contact with Aldwin. Her remarkably sleek bald head with dark coloured markings on top stand out amongst this crowd. This woman is most certainly not a farmer of terse fields. The
Anybody you
barmaid
know?
slowly walks over to you all. Hello there! I've not seen your face around here.
We arrived this morning. I'm Eldwin.
Yeah, you notice that there's a bit of sweat dripping off her brow as she looks a little bit sickly.
Are you sick, madam?
Oh no,
With a bit of a cold.
there's just nothing to matter. You know, it's hard work, you know, so is work to do, and so little time. I just need a moment to rest. But I don't want to disappoint Willie, you know. It's a bit of a temper. There's sometimes he won't even pay you if you didn't work hard enough. But is there anything you want? Mead, ale? You know.
I myself am fine, but my friends may like some.
Any of your compatriots looking fine? Are you coming in from Westroow, working the fields? You don't look like field workers to me.
No, we were on our way to Whiterun.
Western.
Yes, Westerun. We were on our way to Westerun.
It's White
was just-
Stone or Westrun. I know,
Yeah.
I mistaken too for them many times.
Yeah, we were on our way to Westerun, and
Ah.
we're just passing through.
All right. Well then, can I get you anything, love?
I'd like some mead.
Oh well, you can get mead from me anytime you like. And she just winks at you.
Yeah.
All right
Anything
then.
else? Brion?
And
I'll have the same.
2 mead, and you.
Please.
3 mead, and you.
I'm fine, thank you.
I don't serve fine.
I do not need anything, thank you.
All right then, 3 mead coming. Yes, what was it? 3 mead coming up. So just pick a table, just be fine. And then she just hops off again.
The bald woman. Do I recognize her?
Make a perception check.
Mystery woman. Pa, pa, pa.
No.
You stare at this woman for an awkwardly long time. It's just to the point where even your comrades are just looking at you like they're just like in that awkward moment, like, shall we go get a table and sit, or shall we just slowly pull Alduin forward? It's at this point where this woman just cracks open a smile and just chuckles, and then just drinks her mead again. You do not recognize her.
You guys go find a table.
There's something about the tattoo that's familiar to you.
Do I know what
She
that
rolls
is?
over.
It's a dagger on a drop of liquid or something like that. That's what it seems to be resembling.
I will walk up to her. Tell the rest, like, you guys go find a table. I need to go talk to this woman.
Is she like your older or something?
Almost all of the tables are kind of occupied with like some people. There's a man who's just drinking his sorrows away. And you see a few workers from the fields that are just sitting there, just nursing a hangover. What would you like to do?
I'm walking up to the woman.
Okay, you're walking up to the woman. And the rest?
Finding a table
Okay, there are...
with like the least possible people.
That would have been the table that also Eldwin is walking up to, or you can go to the bar.
Or we could sit with someone that doesn't look that drunk, that he might be able to still talk to us.
Make a perception check.
Because that's going well for us.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not. It's a natural one.
There are 4 tables. All 4 tables have patrons on them. One table has several patrons on them. One table has a severely drunk man who seems to be like depressed, drinking his sorrows away. And another one is just has like a few out of town looking people, just workers. And then the table that Altuin is going towards. And then there's also a bar with stools that you can sit on that seems to be empty.
So, what do you guys think?
Well, you wanted to talk to someone. I don't know which one looks the most talkable.
This awkwardness of standing in front, like just in the middle of this very small tavern with 4 tables, is just prolonging several minutes to the point where even the drunkest of patrons is just looking out like,
We should just go to the bar.
Yeah, let's head to the bar.
all right. So you guys go to the bar and you sit down, and then in the meantime, you approach this alabaster dark-skinned woman.
I will take a seat across from her. Hunting werewolves or just passing through?
I am not just passing through here. I am intending to cure them.
Well,
These are not our werewolves after all.
no, I agree. I will make sure that I have the symbol, like he has it on his, on his scarf, basically. It'll be.
As you fumble with it, I have noticed. No need to put that even further out. So, my
he's not fumbling
name
with
is.
it, it's just that it's on his scarf.
Yes. What's your name?
Meldwin.
Aldwin. Mine's Madeline Ildebrand.
I'm from Keimel. The order from Keimel.
I just arrived today. I've heard word from Director Theresa Dullemar in Keilman. Rumors of werewolves surfacing in the Thirst Fields. I've been sent to investigate.
Yeah, we were just passing through and saw it, so felt like maybe an investigation was needed.
It is, most certainly.
I'm sorry, because I'm Vincent, was not writing down the name. What was the name that she said?
Madeleine Hildebrandt. And I'm trying a German accent, but just turned French. I don't know why.
French, yes. It turned very French.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very interesting. Yeah, I'm just fucked up. Go on.
Just go with French. Just go with French. Just French now.
She's French, yeah.
French now. Yeah, you wanted to. Yeah, okay. I now see why you went with German, because that would mean where she comes from. And
Yeah.
you would explain why. Okay.
I don't know what. Just.
You're trying to do a wild mound accent,
Today.
but it's
Yeah,
not
fuck
working.
that. Can't do it.
I got it.
It worked when I was practicing with my boyfriend. He's really good at accents, but it just I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do a German from like top of my head anyway. Anyway, we actually had a little run-in with one of the werewolves last night. We were not able to subdue it, I'm afraid. We had to, well, put it out of its misery, so to say.
Mm.
But
Tell me more about what you saw. I'd like to know everything. 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 Tell me more about what you saw. I'd like to know everything.
Are you being Arnold Schwarzenegger now, or?
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! I'd like to know everything. But yeah, no, she seems to be very stoic and has a very thick German like accent, so it's a wild mound accent. Yeah. So I'm just going to continue on trying to do my best, but this is a very stoic, very stern, very serious-looking woman, and has a very thick German accent. And just for your imagination, I actually have something really cool for you. If you'd like, give me 1 second. I had it.
And now it is gone.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is kind of what she looks like, but then without everything else, you know? Like sitting in a tavern normally.
Did you just send that in Discord?
Yeah, I did, but it's just for you because, you know,
Yeah, I
don't show it on the
Discord
stream.
while we're streaming. Let me just grab my phone.
Okay. But anyways, so it's just for you to know.
Right. Yes, okay.
Yeah?
Well, it attacked extremely ferociously. Unlike most werewolves, attacked almost feral. After we ended it, reverted back to its human form. I investigated its human form, yet did not seem to have any of, as far as I know, the known markers of someone who has been infected with the lycanthropy. No scars, marks, anything.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. I also found this, and I'll take the brown powder. Also found this on the body.
Mm.
I haven't yet.
Oh, she takes the brown powder and then takes out an alchemy kit, stalls it out onto the table in front of you, and without saying anything, just assuming, she starts to put a little bit of a powder on a little platter, put some sulfurous things in, and you see it melting, and she's really investigating. And she puts a little lens in front of her eye, trying to zoom into it. And it's taking 10 minutes in which she just says absolutely not a single word to anything you just said.
Alduin just
It's
looks at
very...
her, what she's doing.
That is very remarkable.
Yeah, I have the feeling that it has something to do with them turning.
It has.
I've not been able to investigate it yet.
Your feeling is correct.
And as you are trying to find an antidote, maybe this can help. If you know what's turning them.
Well, I already have an antidote to lycanthropy. We just need to be able to identify those who are afflicted by this substance. Seems to be what I have heard about to be sood. A
Sood?
drug. Yes. But this sood is not just any sood. It seems to be laced with the lycanthropy blood or venom. It's reacting quite strongly to silver, as you can see.
He also investigates.
And then at this point, she puts a little bit of like a silvery powder on top of it, and you see it just fizzle up into the air, like this chemical reaction that smells extremely foul of burning flesh.
That is... Well, I expected it to be the cause, but that's strange. Why would anyone lace sood with lycanthropy?
Jen, we need to investigate further. I'm glad to have run into you, Aldwin, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, I am also I'm a cleric of the Claret Orders. What are you?
Blood Hunter. Order of the Mutant.
Mutant, are you now?
By the way, do you see those three at the bar right there?
I have noticed them when you entered. I've also noticed you about an hour ago roaming around this tavern searching for the paw prints that you probably noticed on the back door.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We, again, we're also investigating.
Took some time.
Haven't really hunted werewolves before. Mostly
Have.
more of the ordinary versions. Have read about them. Have met some of them, Order of the Lycan brothers and sisters, but never really encountered one before. Last night was a first.
I do not believe they are from the Order of the Lycan, which is why I've been sent to deal with this swiftly. We do
No.
not want any unaffiliated werewolves sullying the name of our order, nor do we want this curse afflict people that you are not trained to in it.
Great. About identifying the ones infected, I might be able to help with that as well.
Well, I was
Take this
hoping
notebook.
we'd help each other from this point on.
Definitely sounds like a plan.
Yes, most likely.
Let's and I'll just wave over the rest to come over.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Xanamin, because he's probably the closest.
I'll join you.
We'll head over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Hildebrand. Madeline Hildebrand. And
My
you
name
are?
Hello, I'm Lux.
Lux?
Xanamin.
Xanamin?
Hi, I'm Brion.
Brion? You found yourself a colourful band of travellers to travel with you. I assumed the mutants were known for solitary hunters.
I've hunted on my own for years. Yeah. You get more done when you work together with others, I've learned in recent months.
Mutants?
Before we continue, I do have a few questions to ask.
Of course.
Your intent, is it to kill these creatures or to cure them? She looks
Honestly-
very stern
Honestly,
and
my
looks
own
at each of
intent-
you.
Honestly, my own intent was to cure them, but I was still starting to investigate. But cure them is my main intent. These are innocent villagers. No need to kill them if it's not necessary.
No.
Have you told anyone of your find? of your suspicions of this being a werewolf. We need to be able to
The
stop
alderman.
rumors spreading.
The alderman is at this moment the only one who knows, and maybe Amelia, the baker. Her husband was the one we killed in the forest.
Good. All right then. I see you only have one sword strapped on your back.
Yes, I've not been able to get to getting a second one yet. My silver one broke about 4 months ago.
Well, it seems we have a few things to do before the night starts. First, we need to make sure that we have enough cures. Secondly, we need to figure out who we need to cure, where we intend to find them, and what these creatures do during the night. If they return to their homes, if they are in search for something else. But also, after these nights are over, we need to figure out where this suit is coming from and why.
Yeah. So I think it's possibly. Are we trying to get them before they turn?
That
Is
would
there a way to
if we
sniff them out?
be able to find them before they turn, that would be most likely beneficial. As far as I know of recent werewolves that have just been afflicted by lycanthropy, it tires the body so much. They sleep the entire day until night falls. So if we are able to find them wherever they are spending their slumbering hours before turning, it would be easier to turn them back, cure them of this affliction. And if not, if we are too late, it would mean a fight with this creature, and then give them this cure and wait for at least 60 seconds until the cure will take hold.
Could hold them.
That is a long time.
Sometimes it works quicker if they are hurt or they're, how do I say it? Their body is less capable of resisting the effects.
How would we apply a cure? Ranged bolts, arrows, or do we have to?
Shove it down their throats.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Speaking of fighting, we seem to have a problem with actual weapons that can, well, hurt isn't the right word here. Well, hurting, but
Be effective.
to be effective against the werewolves. None of us here have silvered weapons, and, well,
The blacksmith in town?
he doesn't know how to
To.
silver them.
He's very skilled, but he does not have the knowledge of how to silver weapons. Unless you have this knowledge.
I do have this knowledge, but we do not have the time anymore. We only have half a day left until night falls. That would be just enough time for only one weapon.
Well, Brion's Spike could use an upgrade. She's our muscle.
I'll proudly show off my pike.
And I do still do damage, even though lessened, but I do still do damage if I hit. That would be a good
Well,
idea.
I also have magic on my side. I would have to see you fight first, but if you are a mutant hunter, as you say so, I will lend you my sword.
Be very much appreciated.
I said lend.
I
If
know.
you just as much scratch it. She just looks a little bit panicked, like, it's my baby.
I get
Alright.
it.
Alduin shows like his sword, like it's taken care of. You know, it's decent.
Okay. Well, I trust you on your deeds, not your word.
You will not regret
So
it.
for that, need to prepare. Any
Yeah.
suggestions?
Well, anything, resources you need to create the cure?
Herbs. I will be able to find that on my own. In and around this town, I found sufficient enough of wolfsbane and a few other petals and wheats that are needed.
Right.
I just need some time.
You also wanted to know how much you need
Unless-
to make?
Well, unless any of you is proficient in herbalism, I would be able to tell you how to create this.
My
Cure.
skills are mostly around medicinal and alchemy, I'm afraid. Herbalism itself
Well-
is not something that I do.
Well, I can show you how these herbs look like, and if you are actually skilled in alchemy, as you say so, then I can teach you how to create this. Do you have a healer's kit?
I do, yes.
Great. We will be able to create these cures together. I will leave this task up to you, and in the meantime, you introduce me to this blacksmith, and I will teach him how to create a weapon for Brion, was it? I will,
Yes.
and we
Very
will
good.
silver that pike of yours. A pike is actually not that much of a big weapon, so if I am quite successful, I might be able to silver tip some arrows for the archer.
That would be great. But just if you have the time, I mean, she's the priority.
Well, actually, the priority is to create and arm ourselves sufficiently enough, because by the looks of it, we are not looking at 1 or 2. We are looking at more than those
At least 3.
werewolves in this town.
Do you
We need to
think
know exactly how many werewolves if we want to create enough cures for the evening. Or we'd have to be choosing who to die.
Then we
kill.
need to figure out who is missing.
Yes, most likely.
Also, you said the body tires out quickly of someone who's recently turned?
Yes,
The bartender.
I've noticed.
She might also be infected.
It looks like some sort of a fever is taking hold of her body. Whatever is ailing her, she might be the key to our last task, finding out where this soot substance is coming from and why. And for that, Aldwin, I'm very grateful to have met you. And your friends probably would not have been able to do this on my own.
Glad to help.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you all. And that is where we end the session tonight.
Yes.
Exciting.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
Oh.
Suit laced with lycanthropy. God
Yep.
damn,
What?
someone is messed up.
Yep.
What? Because you know someone made this shit. Someone didn't let. This is not an accident. Someone made this on purpose.
Willingly.
Yeah. And is trying to just get rid of an entire village by turning them into fucking werewolves. What? Oh,
Yep.
man. Okay.
Boop.
And that does also answer my question: can we just cure it? Because that was like, as soon as we figured out werewolf, can we cure these people? Because these people are good people. We need to cure them.
Well, the
Let's see.
suit addicts, but
Yeah. They are suit
Yup.
addicts, but still, you know,
Just to be a good person.
don't.
I do have a few. I do have a few questions to you all. So you want to silver a weapon that costs 100 gold in silver. So that is something you need to think about. Where do you get 100 gold worth of silver from? Because that blacksmith won't have it. I'm just letting you know that right now. Because
Yeah.
this is like just a
Ooh.
simple village.
Doesn't
And
the bold
then,
lady have it?
what did you say?
Does the bold lady have it?
That day.
That's a question
Figure
you
that
have to ask.
Yeah.
But just think about solutions, and I'll let you know that the bold lady doesn't have 100 gold worth of silver on her right now. and her name is Madeleine.
Madeleine.
Madeleine, yeah, Madeleine. Yeah, and then you are going to learn how to create a cure, which is the first step to getting your feet
Yeah. Great.
from someone who will teach you.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
Very cool.
Very dope.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for joining. No game next week. We're taking another short break. But we will be back the week after that. No, actually, we will be there next week, but we will not be doing D&D. Me, Jens, and another friend of ours, Ray, will be playing some Elite Dangerous, which, to be fair, will be mostly me flying from place to place and us just discussing things.
Yep.
But you know, you can join us if you want. It's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see you. Well, me and Jens will see you guys next week. The rest of us will see each other again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Time.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Time.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, bye guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.